Welcome back to our channel, gang. I'm sorry that I'm late, but I'm here nonetheless. And we gotta get right into chapter 64. Because once again, we gotta give another shout out to Matsumoto. First off, because Reno's cover panel was crazy. And second off, because can anybody else tell whether or not Captain Ogata is drunk or just reminiscing back on the good times? But anyways, we basically kind of start things off exactly where the last chapter ended, with Hikaru telling Reno to seal the deal, and Reno takes that shot to take out the Hanju. We were left kind of wondering whether or not the shot for sure took out the Hanju, but by the end of this chapter we realized they did complete the mission. But we start off with Ogata actually going to a flashback. So the flashback is basically Hikari, Kikoru's mom, is going up to a younger Captain Ogata while he's in the library studying. She walks up and she says, "Hey, Ogata, I just tested positive." Wow, that sounded really bad for what's going on right now. But she basically says that my cells just tested compatible with the Kaiju number 4 suit, the same exact way that Reno cells tested compatible with the Kaiju number 6 suit. So it's kind of funny seeing history repeat itself for Ogata. He's seen this happen time and time again. And now we're kind of also seeing come into play why Captain Ogata already knew exactly what was going on with Reno. Obviously, he's seen other people use those suits before, but he's seen somebody go down the same exact lines in the same exact process, and we're also going to see that as this chapter goes along. But she basically says, my compatibility test for this Kaiju number 4 suit is tomorrow. I'll be able to basically be even stronger than I am now. I'll be able to fight even stronger Kaiju than what I do now, and I'll be able to protect the cities and the people that I love even more than I already can. And she looks down and she's like, but do you think I can do it? Can I? And it's funny to see that everybody goes through these times of doubt. We've seen Hikaru go through these times of doubt. What we know as Hikari, one of the most badass soldiers that the Japan Defense Force has seen, had doubt before she even got to use the Kaiju number 4 suit. But that's not how you would think of her whenever you have her described to you. But Captain Ogata has seen this, and we see him basically say to her, like, of course you can do it. And things flash back to normal times. When things flash back to normal times, he's actually thinking to himself, if I had just opposed that idea back then and told her no, would she still be alive and here today and full of laughter and joy? And it was crazy to see this and seeing Ogata get basically emotional for the first time through his words, but we hadn't seen any emotion on his face at this point yet. But things basically pan back to normal times after that, and we see that Reno did finally end up taking out the Hanju. Everybody's celebrating. Iharu sprints up to Reno and gives him a high five, and it's just like, yeah. And it's awesome to see both of them just celebrate the moment, man. Like, just that brotherly love that we've seen from them the last 4 or 5 chapters that's been going on now. And all of it culminated in them finally succeeding with this mission. And we figure out that Reno did become basically compatible with the Kaiju number 6 suit. But after that, we got to the funniest part of the chapter, and we see Captain Ogata saying, it sure is great, right, Toko? And more or less what he's doing is he's saying, I couldn't stop Hikari from basically going out and fighting, and he couldn't fight by her side. But what he can do is watch this youth right now be able to change the tides. He really thinks that this youth is going to be the change for Japan and the Defense Force, and he really thinks that they can make all the changes that they want to see in their futures. And right after that, and he's crying to Toko, talking about how great youth is, Toko just kind of cringes away from him and is like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're my commander. Don't be crying around me. But after that, Ogata pings in and tells Reno what gave me just goosebumps. And he was like, Reno, you succeeded with this mission, and a portion of this nation's future is now in your hands. And you just see those tears well up in Reno's eyes. You see Haru being like, you finally did it, bro. And Reno just says thanks. And I think that like this all just culminated so well. Matsumoto did an awesome training arc. I'm excited to see the next training arc. But to not diverge too far off topic, right after that, Captain Ogata basically goes back to the base and gives a call up to Mina Ashura. She's sitting at the Tachikawa base and answers the phone and is like, Captain Ogata, I've been waiting for you to call. Like, how did everything go with Reno? And he's like, everything went well. Reno has a one-track mind and he is very stubborn. But if there's one thing that he does have, it's the trust of his teammates. And more or less, he is worthy of wearing the Kaiju number 6 suit. which Mina is obviously happy to hear. Her and Captain Hoshina have said that one of our key surprise factors is going to be finding people that are going to be compatible to use these weaponized suits, specifically Kaiju number 6, the King of Kaiju. Like the one captain said, we basically are going to put the old King of Kaiju number 6 against the new King of Kaiju number 9. So right after that, she basically says, I'm happy that you said that he's compatible with the suit because I know that you're basically the most leery of letting people use those suits, which we basically know is because of Hikari. We know that the traumas that he's gone through in the past. So if there's anybody that's going to be telling someone, hey, I don't know that you should be doing this, it's going to be him because he's gone through that in the past. He knows what he experienced. And now what we're learning even more so is Captain Ogata doesn't want other people to experience those same things. That's why he was so leery about Reno using this suit. Not only did he care about Reno's life, but he also cared about the people around Reno that he knew would be affected if Reno wasn't compatible with that suit, or worse, ended up possibly dead from using that suit. But the one thing that he does notice is everything with the timing is just very convenient with a compatible user with the Kaiju number 6 suit, aka Reno, which is a trauma that he experienced in his past, and at the same time he has a youngster, Iharu, who is just like himself. So is that early foreshadowing that Reno really might end up passing away by the end of this story, y'all? I think that this was the first time that we got early foreshadowing that things are not going to be good for Reno. Obviously, we saw him using the suit for the first time and things weren't good. But whenever he said that, it just made me start thinking 1,000 thoughts. I was like, does this mean that Reno is still weird? Is he suspect? Or does this just really mean that don't get too connected with Reno, bro? Because by the time that this story is over, Reno has already said that he is willing to do anything that he can for Kafka's dreams, and now we're kind of seeing the similarities that the past always represents itself. And if the number 4 suit was a very strong suit that may have proved too strong for Hikari to use at one point, it might have ended up resulting in her death. We don't know whether it was directly the Kaiju number 6 that killed her, or possibly the suit output that killed her at some point or did something to her. Maybe immobilized her the same way that it immobilized Reno. But we do know that these suits are dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. So that's scary to see, bro. That's scary to see. But that was basically all of this chapter. I know I was late, but I got to it. I just had some family in town this week, so I was kicking it with them. I'm going to keep on bringing y'all more content, but more than anything, I'm really excited to see who we're going to see training next. I think that we're probably going to start getting Kafka involved back in the story a lot more again. Either that or we're going to see some of those other early recruits. Can't think of their names right now, but I'll pop them up on the screen while I'm talking and I'm editing this video. But outside of that, man, let me know what y'all thought about this chapter. I thought it was a good one, a nice way to culminate this part of a training arc. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that we're going to go into more of a training arc, and then after 1 or 2 more training arcs, that's when I think that things will really pick back steam up again, and we'll probably get into a lot more combative and battle manga action again, boys. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video and watching it. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. Arigato sensei. Peace. That's that silent one today, boys.